Hello and welcome everyone to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Well, this is Daily Immigration Dose. Thank you so much for joining us. And before we head on, I have this very important disclaimer. By watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. So, folks, thank you so much for joining us wherever you've joined us from. We are streaming live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. It's really, now called X. So, really lovely to have you join us. And please feel free to join us in this discussion. And yes, folks out there, today we are here to um, discuss on this topic that has definitely sparked a lot of debate and intrigue. And today's topic is Trump's plan to expand U.S. territory, Panama, Greenland, and Canada, real or rhetoric. And to help us, help me in this discussion, I got none other than my lovely co-host Sam. So, hi Sam, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Nipasa. It's so good to have this show again, and thank you so much again, for inviting us and sharing the contact details. Also, how our viewers can join. So, yeah, welcome everyone to Daily Immigration Dose. And today's topic is going to be very interesting, and we don't know what's actual the reality is. Why Trump is keep on putting these statements and why is it so much like controversies around the world and so today we are going to explore everything and it's going to be a great session. So yeah, it would be lovely, if you could also join us and share your thoughts also. What do you think about Trump, and do you think it's real or rhetoric or whatsoever? So yeah, I think without any further ado, let's start with our news updates. So I have some news updates that I would like to share. And firstly, it's about Donald Trump Jr., who visits Greenland amid controversy. Donald Trump. So, Donald Trump Jr. landed in Greenland this week, and following in his father's footsteps after President elect Trump reiterated his desire to take control of the territory that today we are going to talk about. And Trump Jr. also shared photos and videos, from his visit and also praising the beauty of Greenland and kind of like teasing, that its people might support Make America Great Again ideals. And however, Danish and Greenlandic leaders strongly rejected these claims, and they are very much against these statements. They are not in favor of putting these claims into a very fun activity or something like that. And they even claim that Greenland is not interested, in becoming a part of the US, and that the majority of its residents also do not support Trump's vision. And Trump is also suggesting, that he wants these lands to have a military or economic pressure, to acquire Greenland, and that has drawn sharp criticism from local leaders too. And moving ahead with another very important news, that is Los Angeles faces devastating wildfires. A fast moving wildfire has forced over 30,000 residents in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood of Los Angeles to evacuate. The fire that has grown to over 1,200 acres is threatening homes in the area. And also, Los Angeles officials have declared our emergency, and Governor Gavin Newsom has also warned that California is now facing a tragic devastation and wildfires year round, not just during a specific season, but like a lot. And the strong winds also expected later today are likely to make the situations even worse. And it's so dangerous outside there that even the movies and the events are getting cancelled because of this major issue. And residents, who have not been evacuated are being urged to leave immediately as soon as possible because the firefighters are also working and trying to, I mean, help them, those who are in the fire or those who are still in the situation. So these two were the news updates that I wanted to address. And moving on with Nepasa, please go ahead and share the further details.
Thank you so much, Sam. And I too got a couple of news to share with you folks. So, first up is, schools are on high alert because they are afraid, immigration raids are going on or are supposed to happen under Trump administration. So yes, as President-elect Donald Trump's administration prepares, for a major crackdown on illegal immigration, schools across the United States are stepping up to protect their students. With fears of potential ICE raids, many institutions, especially in immigrant heavy regions like California and Chicago, are adopting sanctuary policies to shield undocumented students from deportation. This crucial issue raises the question: should schools cooperate with immigration enforcement or protect the right to education for all students? And it's crazy because students out there are facing a lot of trauma. They're not able to concentrate on their studies. They're even not coming to classes because they fear that they would be deported, or they would be found that they do not have proper documentation living in this country. And next up, we have Texas new moon deported after missed immigration hearing. So a Texas mother, Salazar Hinojosa, was deported to Mexico after missing her immigration court hearing, and she couldn't attend the hearing because she was recovering from an emergency C-section where her premature twins were born. Her twins, Ashley and Allison, are US citizens and have been struggling with health issues like pneumonia and bronchitis since the family was forced to move to Mexico. The family had informed immigration services about the situation, but the deportation still happened, leaving the mother feeling devastated. It's really, really sad, this news, but this is happening. And folks, these are the couple of news I had to share with you.
All right. So I think thank you so much, Napasa, for letting us know about the latest news and latest updates. And coming back to our today's topic, that we are going to talk about Trump's plan to expand U.S. territory, Panama, Greenland, and Canada. Is it real or rhetoric? So, what do you think, Napasa? Do you think that it's going to be real, or do you think that why Trump is making such statements? Is the motive behind this to to create as much controversy as possible, or is he actually aiming to acquire these three countries? Do you think it's possible to acquire these three countries?
I'm not very sure about the possibility, but talking about Trump and his controversial statements or whatever he does, I think it's very bold. And even before he even joined the office, or before he was even elected, before he won the elections, also he has been acting like he's the man to be heard. Like he's been saying a lot of things, and yes, we never know what is going to happen. And 2025 seems like it's going to be full of surprises, good things and bad, but definitely different things, especially with the change in administration and him coming into power again. So it's going to be different, as we see that he's collecting his team. And also, yes, he's not only collecting his team, but also sending warnings, or sort of, to other countries as well, to Canada even, with regard to tariffs, because, these countries are very much dealing with US, right? Whether you talk about business or other things, crossing borders legally, illegally, but there are definitely a lot of give and take. So I
Yeah.
think we can see a lot is going to happen, and let's see what 2025 is going to hold for us.
Absolutely, and I think till now Trump hasn't come to the office yet. It's We have few more days, but still, before his arrival, only we are getting a lot of contents, a lot of news that's happening, and Trump's statements. I think it's going to be a very bold statement, of course, no doubt, but still, I mean, this time, I'm having a kind of like a suspicion about it, like because it's practically, according to me, I don't think it's very much possible, because earlier it used to be, the people, they were more about the kings and the kingdoms, they were more into territorial gain, and they just keep thousands of horses, keep thousands of warriors, and just go there and have a war and then invade the other countries. But now it's like, something that we are living in this century, and it's not very much possible to acquire any country, because every country have their own security things, they have their own protections. So it's not that easy, to just completely go and invade that country and acquire the territorial things and say it's in US right now. So practically, I am not very much sure about the statement that Trump has made. But let's see, let's explore more, let's break it down more and understand that why
Yeah.
Trump is actually willing, to add these three countries and why specifically these three countries. So everything, I think it will be a very informative session and it would be great, friends, if you could join us by dialing this number. That's 425-436-6335 with the access code 9 and 5 times 8. And you can also write comments, and that would be like great one because you could also share your thoughts and what do you think about it. Is it real or rhetoric, everything. So with that, Nipasa, please go ahead and share the first information that you would like us to know about.
I mean, what you said is so true. He has been making bold statements regarding the future of U.S. territorial ambitions as well, right? So the
Yeah.
possibility of acquiring the Panama Canal, and to even proposing the purchase of Greenland, is it going to be possible? And the notion of Canada becoming the 51st state. Well, Trump has a lot of ideas before he even comes to power, but they are all drawing a lot of attention and controversy. And yes, so I think talking about a lot of things that are going on, I think we should talk about Panama first. And yes, when we look at it, you know Trump's interest in Panama, why do you think that he has an interest in acquiring Panama? And you know it has become a, I mean, talking about Panama, it has become a key part of the conversation, that he, why he wants to um, acquire it. So, to those who might not know, Panama is home to one of the world's most critical waterways, the Panama Canal, right? And this canal connects the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans, which definitely provides a shortcut that saves time, reducing shipping costs, and it also plays a massive role in global trade and defense. So, if you look at it that way, then yes, why wouldn't Trump want to acquire this part? Because he's only looking how is US going to benefit, right? But is he able to going to be able to do that is a totally a different question. But yes, these are some of his ideas, and maybe these could be some of the reasons why he wants to acquire the Panama. So yes, I mean, reasoning it, maybe it has its economic benefits, and I mean, looking at the strategic importance also of the Panama Canal, so yeah, if you have anything more to add, I think these could be some of the reasons why Trump is, being so actively saying that he wants to acquire the Panama.
Yeah, I think that's very important to know because ultimately it's economic benefit that any country's president would look for, and that's what Trump is also looking for. That's what he says, and if we also look upon the history of Panama, because there is still a question that why Trump has mentioned Panama. So, like in the past, what happened? The U.S. had a control over the Panama Canal, and in 1900s, the U.S. also helped Panama to get independence from Colombia. And in return, what happened? Like Panama allowed U.S. to take some control over the Panama. But later on, with the treaty like Panama Canal Treaty, U.S. was like completely out of the topic, and Panama again got the power, and it was all a very independent state at that time. It made up. So there was some history also, why Panama was kind of having some connection with the U.S. And we also think about upon the question that why now Trump is caring for this and why is he putting this bold statement now for Panama. So I think he said that US is losing money by paying tolls to use the canal, and he also thinks that Panama is kind of taking advantage of the US, and Trump even said that maybe the US should take control of Panama again so it doesn't have to keep paying for the canal. So he thinks that US should get more influence in the region because how important the canal is for trade and security. And most importantly, it's a very kind of like a passage between the two countries. So it's a very important sector for trade and for economy also, and that's what Trump is thinking in terms of monetary benefits also. That if he's going to acquire Panama, the side Panama Canal, then that is going to benefit US. And obviously, to have more territory, to have more region under Trump, I think he would feel more powerful, he would feel more like a king of the world like that. And I think that's what he is trying to aim, and that's why he put up his statement. But in Panama, there also, the governor, he rejected the idea, and he's completely against with the statement that what Trump made, and he doesn't want it. And I think that's very obvious. Nipasa, what do you think? That it's not that easy, to just say that we are going to have include this country, then you leave your country and come and like have a togetherness, something like that. So I think nobody, no president, no prime minister is going to agree on that, right?
Of course, I mean, how will they, right? It's like Pakistan telling India or India telling Pakistan that okay, like you become a part of India. You know, after all that war, separation, agreement, treaty, and everything, and so on and so forth. But they can't just come and just say that, right? But you know, Trump being Trump, and you're saying like. He's you know, he wants to be the king, but he's already acting like one, you know. So you don't know what he really wants to acquire. And but yes, he's definitely making these bold statements and talking about, you know, the history. Thank you so much for, you know, telling us about what had happened. And you know, all that arrangement in the past really worked well for the US, and the canal, you know, became a crucial um, part, you know, both for trade and military strategy as well. And all that, you know, it changed in 1999, right? The US handed control of the canal back to Panama as a part of the Panama Canal Treaty. And that agreement really marked the end of US's control over the canal, and Panama assumed, you know, full responsibility for it. And in order to change all of that, of course, they will have to sign again another treaty. If and of course, it has to be agreed by both the sides, both parties. Until then, of course, I mean, it's only words. We do not. I mean, it's not action as yet. So, I mean, that's that for now.
And I think it's not even possible, to uh, that's okay if he's trying to, or if he's making those bold statements, but
Yeah,
practically
it's not.
very much
Yeah,
possible, right? And that too, we can't say that now the countries are not that strong or weak. I mean, every country, the countries are becoming more, they are having nuclear weapons, they are having different kinds of weapons. So we can't underestimate any country like that. And we can't predict anything that it can happen. Most of the time it's not going to happen, and especially talking about this time, this century. So it's like
yeah.
just thinking, it won't happen. But that's okay. That's what the statement is, and now we are going to figure out that why Trump is actually making these statements and what is the reason behind it. So we are exploring that. And also, if we talk about the people's reaction and about Panama's thing, then people have reacted in a very strong way, in a very aggressive way. And even though Panama's government, has also rejected the idea of Trump's agenda and Trump's mission. And they say clearly that they are not interested and they don't want
Yes.
to join, Trump's company, and they don't want to have any control, any anything given to give control to Trump about the Panama. And some experts also say, that Trump is just using strong words to show that he wants the US to have more control over global trade. And
Yes.
that's what I also said, that he wants to feel like he's the king of the world. And I think, yeah, that's what people also thinking, that till now nobody in the history of the president, nobody has said that I want to have this country, I want to have that country, but Trump is making. So I think this itself shows that Trump is a very confident man, and we don't know whether he's going to actually work on this statement or not. But if Trump says something, then it automatically becomes so controversial every time. And even in reality, it's very unlikely that US would take control of Panama again. But however, I think this move would not only be a very controversial thing, but it also would likely provoking kind of thing, and it may harm the relations between the Panama and US in future, because now I don't think that Panama people having a very good and a very positive approach towards US after Trump's
Yeah.
statement. What do you think, Napas, on this?
Yeah, it's true. It's true, and I mean, they have drawn themselves away from it. They completely, said it straightforward that they're not interested, and it's really clear that they have no intentions on giving up control of the Panama Canal, and such a move would really likely, lead to a very, very serious diplomatic tensions between U.S. and Panama, and of course many other Latin American nations as well. So I think that's definitely true. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so I think we spoke about
Hey guys,
people's reactions as. Oh, hi.
control. Uh, I was actually seeing this, and I think I have to resonate with what Rekha has to say.
Yeah.
And recently, and unfortunately, Mr. President Jimmy Carter, he also passed away. So
Yes.
he did play a pivotal role in what Rekha has actually put forward. That the Panama Canal was built in the 1914, and Jimmy Carter did sign off a treaty to the Panama president at that time. And but now Trump is saying that it's a disgrace. Well, this had been formed by those nations ages ago, and now if Trump thinks that he can take his horses and his elephants and his tanks and everything, and whatever way that he wants to say that he wants to take over Panama, Guatemala, Canada, even. Sorry. I mean, like, this is fanciful thinking. This is simply fanciful thinking. It's what I think as a viewer myself. Uh,
Mhm.
as a viewer myself, and also be like, I control the show and everything. But I just had to jump in. It's like, I'm finding this hilarious. This is beyond preposterous. It's like, what is he even had the guts to even tell Trudeau that I'm taking over Canada for
Yeah.
economic benefits of America. Really? Do you know what Trudeau said in response? Huh? There's not a snowball's chance in hell that that's going to happen. Okay? This is not happening. This is, even if it does happen, it's going to be the next Christmas miracle, if you might say so. I was like, what is he thinking?
That's what he called him, governor of the state. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he's trying to, put these quite, I would
You
say,
see, he's trying to be like the macho man of the. He is what Nipasa said. Is like, uh, he's trying to be the king of the world. Is that what he's trying to portray? You you have gained the respect of millions of people everywhere, all over the world, not only in America, everywhere. And with attempts like this, I don't know, are you wanting to tarnish your name? Are you wanting to go back to what happened in 2021? Do you want is that not sorry, not 2021, 2020. uh, so are you do you want to go back to that time? Is that what he's wanting to do? What Rekha is also saying, this is also true. Thanks, Rekha, for your comment and everything. While Trump didn't rule out military action, he hinted at alternative strategies. So this is what, another cat and mouse Tom and Jerry game that he's going to play with these countries. Like, did he get these countries from his in-laws? Huh? He can do whatever he wants. After marrying Melania Trump, he got these countries by just like that, and he can do whatever he wants. I don't think so. Sorry,
but
I'm just my mind.
we can say that, of course, it's not very practically possible. But Trump is someone that we also have seen that he's a man of his words. So I'm not saying that he's going to acquire those three countries, but something, there will
Yeah.
be something that we are going to change. We are going to see in this year regarding these three countries. Maybe he could acquire some different trade sectors with these countries or something on the other. There will be a relation. That's why he's putting on these
His
statements
his
because
his,
it's also
his main
very
his
common.
main statements, his main concern. Let's start with Greenland. He's wanting Greenland is because he thinks that this is going to be a part where um, he can actually cut off.
Minerals, quotas
He
are
wants
there.
to, yeah,
Yeah,
he's wanting to actually cut off Russia's access to. I think we have a guest.
yeah.
Yeah, I think his name is. Hey, Bhaskar.
Yeah, hi,
Welcome.
hi
What's up?
everyone. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah,
We're doing fine.
yeah,
Ladies, how are you doing?
yeah. I'm doing good. Yeah, it's pretty well. Yeah,
Hi, Bhaskar. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where you're from. It's really great to have you.
yeah. I'm from Chicago.
Oh,
From
wow.
Chicago. Wonderful. How's the weather like over
It's
there?
yeah, it's very too cold. It's like 4 degrees, -4 degrees.
Uh,
Ah, fantastic.
Same here in New Jersey. It's very,
Yeah,
very cold here.
So,
it's
like,
snowing.
before I was like, before I forget or anything. So, Greenland, I think he's wanting is because um, it is actually to cut off the trade routes for with China, and he
mhm.
also does not want Russia to actually also get a foothold over there in anything in any aspect, because he is looking at this as like a three-pronged state. Like there's Canada, Guatemala, and then Greenland. He's accusing Panama to be in ties with China, and he said like if the Chinese are using these routes more for trade and everything. So during Jimmy Carter's time, that was actually part of U.S. So he wants to take that back,
Yes,
and he wants Canada. I don't know. He wants to have the entire of North America all to himself. That's if that is really something, then we will be looking at a completely different world map by 2025 if that really happens.
This won't happen so soon, and
Without
it's
without it
nothing
happen.
but
Yeah.
This I
uh,
also don't think.
every political person, who is in politics. I think they want to rule the world, and I think that's what Trump said. It's not only just that Trump is claiming so that he will get it, but it's like
Yeah.
everyone, every government people, every I mean, whosoever those who are in, government officials, they everyone want to rule the world, and I think that's what Trump says because he is a person who speaks up from his heart,
Hmm.
and most of the time. And I think that's something very different. But I think meanwhile, we should shift our focus to Bhaskar also.
Of course,
yeah,
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 Oscar.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
He
yeah.
and thank you so
Welcome
much,
Thank you
aboard.
so
Thanks
Bhaskar,
for
much.
for
joining.
Thank
What's
you.
up?
joining us.
Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
follow your channel regularly. It was I've been following it. It was so informative. The content is also so good. It helps so many students in the US. Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It truly means a lot. And
yeah,
we're so happy that you could join us today. I mean, normally we see there are these many viewers, but we don't know who's really watching. And you telling us that, you've been following us. It's
yes,
really, really encouraging. And we totally appreciate you joining us today to tell us this.
yeah. Thank you.
So
So,
Bhaskar,
yeah.
what were your I mean, how long you have been in Chicago?
Yeah, I've been like 3 years from.
All
Okay.
right. So,
Yeah,
you in an H1B, you're a student there,
yeah.
or
I'm
are
a
you working?
student. So I'm pursuing my master's right now.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
And you plan on being in the US for work also.
yeah. I'm trying for H1B visa for looking for jobs right now.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
very nice and interesting. So, I
yeah,
mean, we heard about this new news, saying that schools and colleges are really taking up this stance because we hear that Trump is going to raid these. So, are you also facing any sort of issues like that, or is your school is also taking such?
yeah. Under his leadership, He has made many changes. He
Yeah.
understood that a strong nation must have strong borders, so he took
Yes.
over immigration laws to reduce illegal immigration.
Yes, that is so
Yeah.
true. That is so true.
Yeah.
So, yes, and I mean, with regard to your school, do you have a lot of immigrants as students as well?
Yeah, yes.
All right,
I
all
think
right.
that's
Tell
so
us
good.
more, please. I mean, yeah. Sam, go
I think,
ahead.
yeah, Bhaskar, that's so good too. But I would like to know your experience that how do you feel? Because I think actually from which country you are from?
I'm from India.
Oh, okay, that's great. So, Bhaskar, like having Indian culture, having US culture is like a major difference, a
Yes,
completely
it's a major
different
difference.
culture. So,
Yes.
I mean, are you liking the culture of US or you are more like missing Indian culture? What it is? What would you like to say on that?
Yeah, well, I definitely miss the Indian culture, but we have to adapt to the US culture and we have to move on. It's like like when Trump's under Trump's leadership, it's we have seen many changes. For every students, we are facing a lot of difficulties, like for jobs and other immigrations. Yes.
Yeah,
Right, right.
yes. That is what I mean. We are always hearing so many news updates, and today's latest one was like schools in Chicago also are, taking up these strong measures because they hear that schools and colleges are going to be raided because they hear that there are undocumented folks out there, students who are really, really scared now because some of them are not even going to college, being scared that
Yeah.
they would found that they are, undocumented citizens of
Yeah,
America.
the situation is some bit hard for every students right now.
Okay. But I hope that in your case, I mean, you have all your documents and everything right,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything is going good for you, apart from the cold. So
Yeah.
I hope you're keeping yourself warm. And well, I mean, serious things aside, I really hope that you have a very, very wonderful year. It's the new year. I mean, it's still just
yeah, yeah.
1 week
Happy New
down, so
Year to
it's still
everyone.
very new, right?
Yeah,
So
yes.
here's wishing you a very, very happy new year ahead.
Yeah, Happy New Year to both of you. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you. Tell
so
us where
much.
in
Yeah,
India are you from?
I'm from Hyderabad, India.
Oh, that's so nice. We have a lot of Hyderabad callers. So nice. We're so
Yeah,
happy. I think a lot of Hyderabad folks are living in the US.
yeah.
Seems
Many
like,
of the Telugu state students
yeah.
are in the
You have
US.
Telugu friends also there.
Yeah, Telugu community. We have a Telugu
Oh,
community.
so nice. So nice. Tell us more. I mean, we'd like to know.
Yeah, like
You
it's
have,
we
yeah.
have communities over here. We will chat in WhatsApp groups. Like we hang out.
Oh, oh, that's so
Wow.
cool. So it's like a
Yeah,
mini Hyderabad out there in Chicago.
yeah.
Wow.
We feel like hey, it's Hyderabad. We don't feel.
Think, yeah, most of the people, from Hyderabad, they go for the H-1B visa to US, and I think they are happily working there and they have a great life there. So good
Yeah,
luck to you, Bhaskar. Also, we hope like our different viewers. Also, you are also one of them, and you also have a great life in US. And soon you will be getting your H-1B visa.
yeah, yeah.
So good wishes from our side, and
All
just
the
keep
best.
watching our shows, and we come up with different attorneys. Also, I hope you might know that, and we
Yes.
ask different questions. So it would be great also if you could join their webinars. That would be so
Yeah,
helpful.
and whenever you watch us, just say, hi from Bhaskar from Chicago, and we will know it's you.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Definitely. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you so much, Bhaskar.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
good day, Bhaskar. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So sweet. Thank you, Bhaskar, once again. And yeah, it's so nice. We also have a lot of comments from Kavita, Rekha. Rekha's comments we have taken already with ZQ, and then Pavan. Um, Yeah, lovely. We will take up some of your comments soon, but I think we've spoken only mostly about Panama and Greenland a bit. So let's head on to our discussion back again, Sam, if that's fine.
Yeah, I think that should be. And if if we move ahead with another country, that is Greenland. So
Yeah.
I think Trump in 2019 only, if we look back, like from 2025, then in 2019 Trump had already made a very big headline when he said that US should buy Greenland from Denmark. And at that time only, when he said that, I think it was quite predicted that Trump was about to acquire Greenland, or he was more fascinated towards Greenland. So yeah, that's what he said, and he also said that Greenland is the world's largest island, and it's full of natural resources like oil, gas, and minerals, and it's very closely located to Arctic. And if we also see about the population, then there is not much population in Greenland. There's only 56,000 people, those who are living in Greenland. So I don't know whether it's going to happen or not. But if the population is less in a particular country, then it have some kind of chances, that any other country person can acquire that nation, because the population is so less and the people are also very less. So it can become a quite easy job for Trump if he wants to acquire. And he wants to acquire because firstly, he knows that there are a very good amount of natural resources are there, like oil, gas, and minerals. And also he's very much interested in Greenland because he thought that US could control the island and is going to use its resources to the fullest. And he could also help the US to become more powerful in the Arctic, because if we will see the map, then we can understand that the countries, the Russia and the China, that's not that far from the Greenland. So to protect US, he can have a better thing, have a better security protection for the US against Russia and China. So that's what Trump also thought, to acquire Greenland, and could be a great for US military also to keep watch over the North Pole, because it's like a kind of protection, and it's also kind of military camp that he could have in the Greenland area. And that's why, these are simple understandings that we could figure out, and we could make sure that our viewers get to know about the reasons that why Trump is putting on these statements, and what can be the motive behind acquiring Greenland. So yeah, I think this is from my end. And what would you like to add on this, Nipasa?
I mean, it's crazy because it's like uh, if you look at it, I mean, of course, we've heard what Trump said, and then it's like the offer and Greenland's reaction to this, like as if it's like somebody can buy an island, it's for sale, kind of. Trump put out the idea that US should actually buy Greenland. I mean, it's a country. It's an entire island, offered for sale, as if. But yeah, Trump thought that it could be great for business deal, like you said, and then of course the resources are there. And I think one major hurdle would be like Greenland is not a country of its own, but a part of a kingdom of Denmark, right?
Yeah.
So naturally, the idea didn't sit well with the people of Greenland, of course. The reaction was swift and very, very clear. Greenland is not for sale. So that is loud and clear. And of course, the Prime Minister of Denmark dismissed Trump's offer as ridiculous. He emphasized that Greenland has its own governance, self governance, and would never entertain the idea of being bought. Imagine, I mean, it's like India telling Sri Lanka, we are going to buy Sri Lanka, kind of. And it sounds crazy, right? Or I mean, take any country for example, buying another country. I mean, for the cost of money, just sounds crazy, right? It's not like a plot of land for sale. Come
It
on.
does, and that's what Greenland government and the Denmark government, they said that it's not for sale,
Not
and
for
they
sale at all. Yeah.
exactly they rejected the idea, and right away, and saying it's ridiculous. And the people also said that we are not for sale. So it's very obvious,
Yeah,
and it's
they were
very
very, very firm, I mean, and they definitely are going to maintain their independence and sovereignty. So their response is very, very never been clearer than this, I guess, because Greenland wasn't some real estate to be bought or sold. So, yeah.
Right, right. And that's what most of the people, they don't want to just easily have this thing. And it's a thing of independence. Nobody wants to get ruled by someone who just simply invade them, or who actually annex them and think that now they are going to rule. They have more now, the people have more pride in them, and now the people are more focusing on their independence and how they are going to protect their independence majorly. And that's what maybe people are very less in Greenland, but still they are more into like how they can still continue with their independence. And doesn't matter whosoever the the political leader is, doesn't matter how powerful is he, they are going to stick to their independence, and they are going to have their securities, without having any fear. And I think that's what they made it very clear with their statements, that they are not for sale. And they completely rejected the idea, they completely rejected the statement. And I think Trump also got the idea that obviously it's not possible to acquire them, and it's not possible, to even put the offer, and that's not going to happen. So with that, we have also talked about it. And if we move ahead with another thing, then let's move ahead and talk about the Canada. So yeah, I think with this
I think we lost Sam, is it? Yes. Yes, talking about Canada, we will for sure. But, even though Greenland said no, they're not for sale and all, Trump was still very persistent despite the rejection. It's crazy
yeah.
when you look at it and hear these ideas. Sometimes they really sound very ridiculous, but Trump being Trump, he's just bold and very vocal about what he thinks and his ideas. So he didn't exactly give up. Trump continued to bring up the idea in various speeches, often joking about it, but sometimes seriously discussing its potential benefits to the US. And of course, Greenland would be a perfect accusation to bolster US's military power and access the valuable resources of the Arctic. But of course, I mean, he's still being persistent, but it's not going to happen. So, yeah, that's that. And yeah, coming back to Canada. Oh, and thank you, Sam. Also, Sam. Yeah. So let's get to Canada now. And if you talk about it, Canada as well. Imagine Trump's vision for Canada to become the 51st state, right? I mean, he has mentioned several times that he thinks that Canada would be stronger if it joined the US. And
Yeah.
in his speeches, he has also argued several times that it would create a better situation for both the countries. Particularly whether you talk about trade or defense. I mean, all these statements that Trump has been making, of acquiring different countries. Trump has. The trade, economy, and military point of views, and he sees that it's going to benefit the US, and that's why he's making all these statements. Speaking up his mind, which is full of these ideas where how he can make US stronger. Whether it's economically or militarily, and on a global stage, that is. So, but of course, let's be clear right from the start that this idea is only and only unrealistic. It's not going to happen. Whether you talk about Panama, or you talk about Greenland, or you talk about Canada, it's really not going to happen. So, yeah, Canada is also a sovereign nation and has its own identity, political system, and does definitely have a very rich history as well. Talk about independence, and
Mhm.
it has never ever shown any interest in becoming a part of the United States ever. And the people of Canada really take great pride, in their autonomy as well. So it's not going to happen. It's totally an unrealistic idea for sure. Sam, do you want to add anything more?
I think, yeah, from the very beginning of our session, we have been stick to this that it's not practically possible and it's not true. I mean, it can't be possible to have these countries. And I think if we also talk about Canada, then yesterday also show we had with the US Mexico relation, and day before that also we talked about Canada US. So we have been talking about US neighboring countries a lot, and we have been sharing how they have relations and how the relations have been evolved and what the future perspective can be. So with this, it's not very much easy nowadays, to have a friendly relation with the neighboring countries. Then even if you're not having a friendly relation, there is hostile relations between these countries, then it's not possible to annex the countries. And how you're going to have those countries by having a war. It's not
Mhm.
possible, to sit together to have a cup of tea and both the people are agreeing, okay, now mix US and Canada and now we'll be leading one state. So that's not possible. And I think Trump made these statements. Maybe he has some different thinking, or maybe he's having some different strategy. Maybe he's trying to confuse a little bit to people and trying something on the other. We don't know. Maybe we'll get to know the actual reason behind his statement maybe some days later. And yeah, I think that's all, because it's not
Yeah.
very much possible, but I think it's very important to share these information with our.
Unrealistic, for sure. Very unrealistic. And maybe these ideas, very much attention grabbing, you can say, because ever since he made those statements, he's everywhere. Everywhere you see that Trump is saying this, Trump is saying this. And yes, definitely grabbing a lot of attention, but very little grounding in reality. And, making such statements, I'm sure he's actually making these countries. Feel very weird about his statements, and probably these countries are going to think whether or not to deal even with the US. I
Sam,
mean, instead of
Nipasa, Sam,
these.
just think about, just think about the things that he's actually saying. It's like there's Canada, America, and then Mexico. Okay, entire all three countries are hypothetically air quotes. I'm actually air quoting now. Air quotes. They're all connected. So all this time that he has been talking about closing of the borders and deporting immigrants, again air quotes, illegal immigrants. Yeah, all this time, and now Mexico joins up with America. America takes over Mexico, and then Mexico combines with America. Canada combines with America. So what happened to all this talk about the with the about these border talks and all of these things about
Yeah,
cutting up, putting
illegal
up the wall?
immigrants will
What happened to
become.
the famous Trump wall? What will happen to the famous Trump wall then? I mean, like,
It's funny when you think about it, right? That's
yeah,
what.
in a hypothetical sense, in another scenario, like in a what if country kind of thing, in a multi universe, maybe this will happen. But yeah, maybe in
Maybe.
a in a multi universe, he'll be the king. Sorry for jumping in. I'm
No, no,
really
No,
that's
liking
it's
this.
cool, but yeah, it's really funny, interesting, intriguing, and what do I say? Attention grabbing, but with very
he
little
he is
reality, very unrealistic. All these
he
things
is
are.
even going on to say that, okay, it's not going to be the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to be the Gulf of America.
yeah,
It's like, this is
that's what.
Yeah.
total. This is totally Delulu. Jesus Christ on a motorbike. What is he saying? Sorry, go ahead. I
No,
was
it's
just,
cool. Thank you so much for. Yeah, you can
yeah.
stay. In fact, you can keep joining
I'm
the
listening. I'm
conversation.
listening. I'm here. You go ahead.
No, but thank you
Yeah.
so much, for sharing your information, and it was great to know different things also, and it's lovely, to have different opinions because that's what we are also learning so many things from our viewers, and it would be great.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So at least it's like this news has been blowing up everywhere. Okay, so and this is right on the eve when, yeah, on 9th, Jimmy Carter is going to be buried.
So
May
much
he
is
rest.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah, President Jimmy Carter is going to be finally put to rest, and
Trudeau has
may he
quit
rest in
as the
peace.
prime minister.
Trudeau quit. Uh, on the
We have Trump coming in no time, like 10 days from now.
yeah,
Or
and on a funny thing. he is actually pleading to the Supreme Court to put him off out of the hush money cases that is there. Okay, like
Mm.
he is still facing those charges and facing those cases, the hush money cases, the documents that were found uh, in his resorts and every place where he resided. So all those built up cases that's still there, and all of these things. Funny thing is that on January 10th, he has a court hearing and regarding one of these top cases. So he is a president elect. He will be in power by the 20th, but he has a case hearing on the 10th of January. This is, I mean, like,
Another
this
Yes.
story.
is this is another story just by itself, and it has been blowing up everywhere. CNN, NBC, everywhere. Like, uh,
Mhm.
the courts are actually they are now stuck. It's like, what are they going to do? It's like he's a president, but we have to follow the law. And now, if this happens, then it will be absolutely clear that he's manipulating the courts as well. Like something that I had said, like the American judicial system is under the legislative, the Supreme Court is there, then the legislative is there, and the House of Commons is there. So he's controlling all of that. Okay, if these cases are pulled off, so it's just a wild guess about what's going to happen. Go ahead. Sorry,
It's
no
cool.
problem.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
Thank you
Thank you
actually for
so
sharing
much.
your thoughts
no
very,
problem.
very
No problem.
passionately and
No problem.
important things, I think. So, yes, thank you for bringing them up, ZQ. And yeah, coming back to all these unrealistic, ridiculous statements, but Trump being Trump, he's just been persistent. And even after, his ideas were being rejected by these respective countries, he has been still bringing them up, whether he says it as a joke, he still he still brings them up. It's funny. Yeah.
But I think that's fine. We have talked a lot on today's session. We have talked about Panama, we have talked about Greenland and Canada, and also why these three countries, why Trump is eyeing on these three countries. And we also talked about the history and the current situation that's happening in these three countries, and what can be the strategy or what can be the reasons behind it. So I think, yeah, we have covered a lot of topic in today's session, and it has been a very informative one. And thanks to Bhaskar, ZQ, then Kavita also, and Rekha, and different viewers, Pavan also, who has joined us and
Yeah,
shared
I
their,
think I think we should just quickly read up the comments, before we leave them because we only took up Rekha's.
and
So
let's take the Kavita one.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pavan saying Trump also suggested acquiring Canada as America's 51st state. Canadian Premier Premier Justin Trudeau visited Mar-a-Lago to protest Trump's threat to impose a 25% tariff on trade. Yes, that is so true. I mean, Trump has had before Trudeau's resignation, he already told Canada that he's going to make it very hard for Canada and even increase the tariffs. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think thank you, Pavan, for that. And he also says that the president-elect cited Canada's failure to stop the flow of drugs and people and suggested that Canada becomes a state with Trudeau as governor. Definitely not happening, and Trudeau has even resigned from his position. And apparently, there was laughter all around, but Trump might have been doing more than trolling the hapless Trudeau. So true, so true. Thank you, Pavan, for bringing all these up. And yeah, it's unavoidable. So thank you for bringing them up. Kavita, on the other hand, Sam, would you like to read
Yeah,
Kavita's
sure.
comments?
Okay, so Kavita is saying that how would the courts likely respond if US citizens or residents challenged such an expansion? Could this be seen as overreach by the executive branch, and what checks are in place? So I think, Kavita, if we talk about the US citizens or residents, those who are being challenged in such an expansion, so I think they also feel very confusing, and they also won't be liking this because it's not only the territorial part, the territory is going to expand, but it's also about the people, because they're people, they have different culture, they have different ideologies, so it's not so easy to evolve, and it's not that easy to welcome anyone, especially in your nation, because now currently the US is having so much controversies and so much difference of opinions regarding immigrants only. So I think now, if we are seeing the immigrants topic is only so much a very hot topic, then we can't expect more people to be welcoming in U.S. nation and more people to be evolving together. So this will be from my side, Kavita, and moving ahead with another comment. And what economic implications would acquiring these territories have? And would the US need to invest in their development? And could taxpayers challenge the cost in court? So I have not much idea about the tax paying thing and about the investment, but sooner or later I think Trump is more into this, and that's why he is also trying to acquire these countries because of the toll tax and because of reducing the tax payments. So this is also a major reason behind it. And how much is the payment, how much is the investment, I think for that we need to look upon. So thank you so much, Kavita, for commenting here and for participating in today's session. It was really a very important and very insightful that you put up these points. So, yeah, I think with that, Napasa, we should also look for another
Yeah.
comment that we got from
Okay.
LinkedIn user, and that is, I
Mhm.
need green card. So, I
To
mean,
which
what
country you need a green card? Well, Canada, Panama, Greenland, US. You have so many options, but I mean, jokes apart, depends where you are, what your situation is, and what visa you have. Are you still planning on, adding extensions to your visa? Tell us more. I mean, this is such a, but yes, all the best. I hope that you can acquire your green card and are surely in the verge of getting one. I hope you're in the process. So, yeah, all the best.
absolutely.
All right. So, I mean, talking about our topic today, of course, we spoke so much about, Trump's ideas, whether it was rhetoric in nature or you think it's really going to happen, acquiring Panama or Greenland or Canada. So, of course, these statements and ideas have really captured public attention and even stirred a lot of political discussions across the globe. But for most part, it is definitely rhetoric in nature. It cannot happen. That is it. I mean, yes, Trump's emphasis on expanding US influence, whether it is securing strategically these territories or asserting economic dominance, I think it's all about America first. He's been keeping that in mind and thinking about how to make America stronger. And it's funny that he's thinking that he needs all of these other countries also to be a part, but I don't know. Now that he has made all these statements, I don't know how much impact is this going to have on the relations, US Panama, or you say US Canada, or even US Greenland. I'm sure it's going to have some sort of impact, right? So
It will.
I think that's all we can look ahead now, what's coming next. But yeah, it was a great discussion, I think, Sam, and really thanks to all the viewers out there who could join us, and especially Bhaskar, and of course our control ZQ, who also passionately and actively participated in today's session. So nice to have you join us, and I'm already looking forward for tomorrow's session as well, because 4 p.m. Eastern time is when we have daily immigration dose with me and Sam. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope that you have a great day ahead today as well. So yeah,
Thank you
it's
so
me.
much.
Yeah, Sam, do you want to say anything before we leave?
I would just like to say thank you to everyone for joining us. And yeah, I think it was a great session. It was a very informative one. And do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And we definitely come with the latest updates. Anything about immigration or anything about the visa process, feel free to contact us. Feel free to put the comment here, and we will definitely take them up. So thank you so much, everyone. And it's almost time, so we have to take a leave for today. So me and Apasa are signing off for now. Goodbye and take care, everyone.
Bye bye.